The 2023-2024 Premier League is underway, and after 3 rounds of football, Manchester City are the only team with 100% win rate. And while it is expected, what will be interesting is the fight for top 4, as many teams this season will be looking to return to the top, among which are most notably Liverpool and Chelsea. But will it happen? Only time will tell, as the Premier League is the strongest football league in the world, and no game is an easy one to win. Join us as we preview the season and see which team can surprise and which player can be the star this year. In my opinion, the upcoming Premier League 2023-24 season is shaping up to be fascinating, especially after the last season's unexpected turn of events that disrupted the established Big Six. So one cannot help but wonder, will we see the traditional powerhouses reclaiming their spots? Or are we witnessing a new era with underdogs continuing their impressive performances? Even in the midst of such upheavals, Manchester City stood out, consistently delivering exceptional performances, and here we go again. Erling Haaland is rejuvenated, Jack Grealish is recharged, and Pep Guardiola is coming out with fresh tactics. After their remarkable treble, City is on a mission to make history. So, can anyone challenge this dominant side? Surprisingly, not many had the guts to do so in the past, as Mikel Arteta's Arsenal were the ones to come close last season, and their massive investment in Declan Rice and Kai Havertz indicated their intent to challenge again. It's noticeable that the other major teams are regrouping. Liverpool under Klopp is undergoing transformation, while Erik ten Hag has Manchester United looking more unified than ever, and Chelsea and Tottenham, both under new management, are attempting to regain momentum. Reflecting on the 14 seasons since the formation of the so-called Big Six, only twice have 2 of these giants missed out on European qualification. Newcastle's performance stood out without much inconsistency. Their gameplay was both consistent and captivating, representing the underdogs who've challenged the status quo. And Brighton and Aston Villa deserve mention for their impressive campaigns, earning European spots. They're likely to aim even higher this season. It's not just the top-tier teams from London making waves. West Ham clinched the Europa Conference League, and both Crystal Palace and Brentford had commendable seasons. Wolves and Bournemouth, under the guidance of their Basque coaches, are likely to bring some surprises. And Nottingham Forest's financial commitment signals their intention to remain competitive. And I know I will be keeping an eye on Everton too, especially after their recent transfer activities with Sean Dyche. The newly promoted teams, each with their unique style, add another layer of intrigue. Burnley, known for their attractive football, might just surprise many, but Sheffield United needs to up their game to compete at this level. Luton Town, the newest entrant to the Premier League, will be playing at the division's most intimate venue, Kenilworth Road. Their performance in the playoff semi-final second leg suggests they could turn their home ground into a fortress. From my observation, this is a league where outcomes are increasingly unpredictable. Examples from last season like Brentford's wins over City, West Ham's trophy despite a lower league finish, and Chelsea's mammoth spend for minimal gain only confirm this notion. The anticipation for the new season is palpable. I give the title of the dark horse team this season to Aston Villa and Brighton. And when we talk about potential dark horses in the Premier League's 2023-24 season, it's impossible not to mention the former. Since the latter part of the 2022-23 season, they've made waves, causing many top sides to falter when facing them. With a lineup boasting the likes of Tyrone Mings, Douglas Luiz, Philippe Coutinho, Emiliano Martinez and Ollie Watkins, they've become a formidable force. This summer, Villa has further bolstered their ranks. Moussa Diaby's acquisition from Leverkusen at €55 million is a statement of intent. Add to that the arrivals of midfield maestros Yuri Tielemans and Morgan Sanson, and the solid centre-back Pau Torres from Villarreal. If they hit the ground running, it's hard to see any side wanting to face them. And let's not forget the man at the helm, Unai Emery, which is a renowned figure in the footballing world. Emery has previously managed giants like PSG, Arsenal and Sevilla. His dedication, tactical prowess and ability to motivate players are well documented. Under his guidance, it won't be a shock if Villa emerges as the season's dark horse. However, Aston Villa isn't the only team worthy of attention outside the traditional Big Six. Newcastle and Brighton are also set to stir things up, but we will talk about Newcastle in a second. Brighton, fondly called the Seagulls, were a revelation last season, as their 6th place finish was no fluke, earning commendation from the likes of Pep Guardiola. However, the recent transfer window saw key players depart: Alexis McAllister, Roberto Sanchez, Raider Cadra, and Aaron Connolly, to name a few. The squad's reshuffling isn't over, with midfielder Moses Caicedo hinting at an exit, and Kaoru Mitoma turning heads at Manchester City. But Brighton is by no means weakened, and their acquisition list is impressive. Goalkeeper Bart Verbruggen from Anderlecht, central defender Igor from Fiorentina, midfield talents Mahmoud Daoud from Dortmund and James Milner from Liverpool, winger Adrian Mazilu from Ferrol, and striker João Pedro from Watford. Roberto De Zerbi remains the master tactician behind Brighton's success. Guardiola himself has lauded De Zerbi and even suggested him as a potential successor. Known for his innovative tactics and flexible strategies, De Zerbi promises to make Brighton a standout team in the forthcoming season. I will give the role of team to watch this year to Newcastle United. Having shocked in the 2022-23 season with a solid play in defence and equally flamboyant in attack, Newcastle finished in 4th place, meaning a ticket to the Champions League this season. Most likely on the track of the upcoming season, the Northeastern England team will continue to be the name that causes waves for the teams in the Big Six. Newcastle had a pretty good squad last season. In this year's summer market, the home team of St James Park is also enhanced with many quality stars. Among them are midfielder Sandro Tonali from Milan for €64 million, winger Harvey Barnes from Leicester for €44 million, or Tino Livramento from Southampton for €40 million. According to various sources, Newcastle has no intention of stopping shopping. Club leaders are still looking to buy St James Park a few other stars for coach Eddie Howe. Among them, the target Joachim Andersen of Crystal Palace, Ryan One of Hamilton Acad. Importantly, that constantly replenished Newcastle squad continues to be led by coach Eddie Howe. With the style of play that has been shaped under the leadership of this 45-year-old military leader, it is not excluded that the Northeastern team of England will be even more famous in the 2023-24 season, despite the ability to compete for the throne. Championship with their Man City is not counted. As for players to watch this season, I could not select a single one, because the English Premier League has always been a hotspot for unearthing new talent. Last season was no different, with several young talents emerging and staking their claim in the spotlight. Here are some players that caught my attention and I think will be worth following this year. Bryan Mbeumo of Brentford. This 23-year-old Cameroonian forward showed why he's considered one of the brightest prospects in the league, and with 9 goals and 8 assists, Mbeumo was instrumental in Brentford's campaign. If Brentford's ascent continues, it's a good bet that Mbeumo will be at the forefront of their success. Eberechi Eze of Crystal Palace. Eze has the kind of flair and skill that gets fans off their seats, and even in a Palace side that has its struggles, he managed to net 10 goals and chalk up 4 assists. With the winds of change blowing at Selhurst Park, Eze could elevate his game even further and become a pivotal figure for the Eagles. Jacob Ramsey at Aston Villa. A mere 22 years old and already turning heads as Ramsey's tally of 6 goals and 7 assists is a testament to his ability and vision on the field, and his performances are bound to draw attention from the England setup sooner rather than later. Cody Gakpo at Liverpool. The Anfield outfit, known for its rich footballing history, welcomed Gakpo in January, and he did not disappoint. And finding the net 7 times and setting up 2 goals in just 13 starts is a remarkable feat. And as Liverpool aims to reassert their dominance, Gakpo could emerge as one of their standout performers. Evan Ferguson at Brighton. Age is but a number for this prodigious 18-year-old talent. As scoring 6 times in 19 appearances, Ferguson has already shown that he can handle the pressure of the Premier League. And while he might still be easing into a regular starting role, he possesses the raw talent to become a mainstay for the Seagulls, and possibly spring a few surprises along the way. These players, with their mix of raw talent and already impressive resumes, are ones to keep an eye on in the upcoming season. They could very well be the difference makers for their respective clubs. We are in for a very fun season of English top flight, with a few potential teams ready to challenge Manchester City. Guardiola's side will be stretched out to the maximum this season, because they will have to defend 3 trophies, and this will give the opportunity for new teams to win a major trophy. Will it happen, and which teams will come out on top, is anyone's guess. But what is certain is that we will not miss out on drama, happiness, and sadness. It's up to us to enjoy the show.